All right, breaking news here, guys. OpenAI just released their brand new GPT-4o, or actually they call it GPT-4o model, and I'm going to give you my honest insights. This is just fresh off the press. I watched it live, just whipped up these slides, so I'm going to give you just the overall what they've done and what's good, what's bad, the whole thing. So the first major point is this is a huge day for free users. Before today, you had to be paying 20 bucks a month to get their GPT-4 model, to use the GPT stores, to use the Vision, Dolly 3 and all that kind of stuff. And from what I understand now, you can do all of this plus more with their new faster, better model for free. The only thing it seems like the paid users like myself will get is some extra capacity. So you'll be able to use more prompts. I guess you can do more searches or whatever. But that seems to be it. So that's really weird. I'm not even sure if I'm going to pay for it anymore after this. I'm shocked, honestly. I guess they have to compete with Llama 3 and some of Google's stuff. It's very competitive. And they did say towards the end of the presentation that something's going to come out soon for the paid users. But first thing, it's just massively huge day for the free users. So many more people are going to be using this, the GPTs and the whole thing. So that's the first thing. Next one. So free users, like I said, they can use the new model GPT-4o and all the GPTs in the GPT store. So if you're making GPTs, it's going to be so much better in terms of now you're going to have a lot of people. I think only like 1% of people were paying for it before. So now you're going to have so many more people who can actually use whatever GPT you made. So that's an interesting development. The next one is it is way faster. I mean, this model, you can talk to it live and it talks back instead of, there's a tiny lag. You almost don't even notice it. So you really can interact so quickly. Like it was slow before, and this opens up a whole lot of opportunities to use it, especially with speech. But everything is just a lot faster. That's a major development there. The API, so if you are making a product where you're putting kind of a wrapper around GPT or Chat GPT, it's 50% cheaper, which is a lot, but in another way, it's not because, or cheaper, I should say, than GPT-4, but that was super expensive. So if you had a lot of users, it was almost impossible to give anything away for free because even though it's 20 bucks a month to use it, if you're paying to use their API and run your own thing on there, it is a fortune. The prices add up quickly. So it's cheaper. It's half the price, but I wish it came down more, but it's going in the right direction and it's going to keep coming down. The next thing, like I said before, this is way better for voice. So it's like real-time interaction. The entire demo that they did, they didn't type anything. They just talked to it. So they opened up the phone app and they were just like, hey, Chat GPT, just kind of like a hey, Google or hey, Siri or whatever kind of thing. They just opened it up and used the voice recognition and got the voice to speak back, speak all the answers back. That was the whole demo, doing it in that way. So really focusing on the multimodal where you use voice or you use a picture or the phone camera. Now, this is kind of a neat little thing. You can interrupt the model. So when you're talking to it before, if you asked it a question and then it would start speaking back, if you're doing the voice mode and it's babbling away at you and you can tell it's going in the wrong direction, now you can just say, hey, ask it another question, you interrupt it, and then it goes on to the new answer. So you don't have to listen to their whole spiel when you know it's going to be a stupid one or just going off in a tangent. You can say, okay, stop, whatever, and interrupt it. So that's better. And the model picks up on emotion. So they asked it to read a story, write it, read. They said in the demo, it was something like, "Oh, my friend, he can't sleep. Can you make a love story?" Something like that. It was a weird example. They always give such these coders give such corny examples. It's funny, but anyway. So ChatGPT whipped up on the spot some kind of a story, and then the guys interrupted the model, and they said read it with more emotion, and then it would start reading with more emotion, and then they'd say no, no, do it with maximum emotion, and then it really came in with this over the top emotion as it was reading. So that's kind of neat. That could be useful for certain apps or when you're, especially because now it's so fast, it really feels like you're having a human to human interaction. So if they notice you're like, if you say, "Oh, I'm not feeling very well today," they'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that." And it might seem like who cares? It's not a big deal. But the more I start to think about this, the more I realize this is where it's going. You interact with it, it feels human. I think it'll make people use it more. Um, so it has way better multimodal capabilities. So before, well, now even the free users, if you put in not just text, but you can upload an image or a video, even if you open up your phone's video while it's going, like just as if you're going to record a video and say, "What am I looking at now?" But it's in the video mode where it's not just a picture, it tells you on the spot. So the demo that the guy did was a math problem. It was an easy one, but it doesn't matter. It was something like I don't know, 3x plus 1 equals 5 or something like that, or plus 1 equals 4. Yeah, I think that was it. And then he wrote it out on a piece of paper with a pen. And as he was writing it, while showing a video to ChatGPT of him doing that, it was able to pick up in real time what it wrote and then gave tips to solve the problem. So it's like a teacher in this way, and it's nice when they speak back to you instead of having to read the answer all the time. And he said, "Don't just solve it, actually explain what I need to do or give me some tips." So that was kind of neat. And yeah, this speech part, because it was the whole demo, this is huge. I mean, this is how people are going to be interacting with ChatGPT from here on. It looks like you talk to it, you say, "This is what I want to do, what do you think of this?" And because it's so fast, it comes right back to you in real time. So instead of typing it, it's going to seem more natural, I think, when we get used to this. And they also have, and this is huge again, I think they kind of glossed over it, but they have a desktop app. So instead of like right now, if you're on your laptop and you want to use ChatGPT, you have to go open up the browser and go to it and then start a new conversation. And then if you want to say, like, talk about an image, you have to upload it right in there. Now, what you can do with the desktop app, and I believe this is available for the free users as well, which is crazy to me. But anyway, you run the desktop app in the background, and while you're doing something else on a different website or anywhere on the computer, you can just start talking to it and say, "Hey, what do you think of what I'm looking at now? Can you give me, any advice on how to write this code or this email I'm working on? Can you help me finish it off?" And then it'll speak back to you and tell you what you need to do right there on the spot without having to go, into the website. So it seems a lot quicker to get feedback. So you're kind of using it by talking. So you just basically talk to your computer and it talks back to you instead of going on and dealing with the website. Okay, so overall, the emotion thing is pretty big. That's a big difference. And it knows your emotions as well. If you say, "How do you think I'm looking or feeling?" or whatever, it can tell, and then it speaks with emotion. The price is lower, and it's amazing for the free users. So that's the huge thing. So price is lower for the API part. I mean, way faster, multimodal, desktop app, and speech. The disappointments are I didn't even write this. And actually, I should put for the good ones, I didn't mention, I speak English as my main language, obviously. So I didn't care too much personally, but they said it's way better for all of the languages. I think they said 97, but whatever, a lot of languages in there. Don't quote me on the 97. That's just sort of what I remember. Disappointments. What is for the paid users? I don't get it. I might stop paying. We'll see. And the model itself, although it's way more useful and faster and with the speech and everything, I didn't see anything about the model being any better. And that's why it's not called GPT-5 because it's not. Um, and I don't know what the O stands for. I don't think they said. What else? That's sort of my main thoughts. And then there were some rumors that they were going to introduce a search competitor to Google. They didn't. I saw something about some news thing. They didn't do that either. But if they couple this announcement with something bigger for the paid users, and I think Altman mentioned something about that in a blog that he wrote today. And then they said that at the end of the video, if they couple that up with like a GPT-5 for the paid, and then all this stuff is going to free, that's where I think it's going. And overall, it's pretty huge. Just wasn't that huge yet for the paid, but I'm excited. They're going to be rolling this out for the next couple of weeks. I'm excited to see to actually use this speech thing and the desktop app for myself. We'll be making videos about that. So let me know what you thought of this video in the comments. Like, subscribe, and then check us out on our website, aigrowthguys.com. And then go to the description, give us your email, and we'll send you some cool free AI tools that we've been making and a bunch of stuff we never spam. All right, talk to you later.